As we discovered with redheads, unbridled discrimination can sadly lead to extinction. Here in Australia, European intolerance for our Indigenous landscape has resulted in extreme development, causing the eradication of many beloved creatures. Now another important species is in danger, and if the human urge towards voracious development is not arrested, old drunks will be something our children will only see in their holographic picture books. True to their name, old drunks are just that, old and drunk. Solitary yet social creatures, males defend their turf with chest-puffing and colourful displays known as glassings, while females mark their territory with strong scent and communicate in shrill, high-pitched calls. But why are they disappearing? You might assume it's alcohol-related, liver disease, pancreatitis, wandering into traffic. The chief reason for their growing scarcity is as casualties of a process known as gentrification.
Okay, well, what gentrification is, basically, is when people who are perhaps professional or quite affluent decide to move into an area that previously has had lower socio-economic people living in it. There's some good things about it in that the buildings tend to get improved, but what happens at the same time is that can push up rent levels, and the net effect of that is it changes the nature of the area. We see the lower income families and single people having to move out further and further away, and that process can roll on.
Gentrification is an ancient process which may have begun right here in Montignac, southern France. It's easy to imagine. 17,000 years ago, some Paleolithic people were sheltering in a cave. Soon, the warmth of their fire attracted others. Two males entered and took the best place next to the fire and said, "Cette place a besoin d'un jugin. Peut-être avec une façade exceptionnelle." And so, the caves of Lascaux were created, possibly the first example of a gentrified dwelling in recorded human history. And it's a trend that's continued through time. Before heritage listing was a thing, French civic planner Baron Haussmann destroyed medieval Paris to create the sweeping boulevards so famous today. Augustus Caesar found Rome in brick and left it in marble, just as Greek post-war migrants to Australia found gardens of buffalo grass and left them in concrete. The most visible example of the gentrification process these days is the acquisition of the humble local pub, which is gutted and renovated. Like Terra Nullius in Australia, powerful people see land they consider not being used to its full potential and decide the people on it need to be moved on for their own good. Out go the sex, drugs and rock and roll. In comes the Bex rugs and sushi rolls. Suddenly it's drinks in jam jars, DJs with one good ear, and full tattoo-sleeved bar staff will ask the question, would you like attitude with that? And it's forcing out the original inhabitants. It's trench warfare in the Sydney suburb of Balmain. From 80 pubs at its peak, it is now down to just 27. But a few old diggers are managing to hold on by their fingernails.
Balmain is a yuppie place. It's an upper-class place now. Everybody wants to upgrade and be poshy.
What's this Balmain village bullshit? It's not a village, it's just a suburb.
The Monkey Bar used to be called the Cricketers Hotel. Called the Monkey Bar. They charge $5.20 per schooner. That's why everybody comes here, because $3 schooners, you can't go wrong.
Housing is extremely expensive.
Who can afford rent in Balmain?
These people are buying and they're changing the demographics of the whole suburb. Where we had normal shops, we had delicatessens, butcher shops.
Now it's all lingeries and coffee shops.
All they are is coffee shops. Coffee shops and...
Money talks and bullshit walks now.
So you're losing some of that community?
Yeah, we're losing everything. You're losing the whole lot.
The extinction of this culture also means the loss of a dialect as unique as Welsh or Cornish. Phrases such as Gissaciggyyakhan, meaning "I'd like a cigarette, please," or Geographic, meaning "welcome, friend," have become meaningless to a new generation who never get to hear them. Just one more reason their plight is so serious. An apex species, their removal from the ecosystem has knock-on effects, and as they disappear, the livelihoods of many others comes crashing down.
When I arrived in Australia 10 years ago, there were plenty of places for me to work. And now it's really hard to find jobs as a topic.
Why is it so hard to find jobs now?
It's just every time they do those bars up, they want you to move on. They don't want topless staff anymore.
So the new people coming in don't want to see a naked woman?
Yeah, what's wrong with those hipsters? I mean, they don't like tits. there are too many girls fighting for those few positions, so you have to move further and further away from the city. If it happens again, I might have to go back to Europe.
She's not the only casualty. Feeder groups such as flannelette makers and sexual health clinics too have seen their numbers dwindle. But more troubling is the potential loss of what makes us Australian. With the extinction of pub drunks will go our larrikin spirit and a rich tapestry of history and folklore. Like the Navi Tree of Souls, they help protect our future by telling us of their past. This upmarket foreign beer glass, which is so popular now, best exemplifies a cultural shift away from substance and community towards exclusion and superficiality. It looks big, it looks fancy, yet it holds less than the schooner it replaced. And the ultimate paradox about this foreign beer, it's made in Australia. Et tu, beer makers? Can our old drunks be saved, or is it already too late? Will the tentacles of gentrification one day reach iconic watering holes like the Ettamogah pub? Will it one day be famous for its fuchsia polo shirts with the collar up, rather than its crooked veranda? We can all do our part. If you start to notice changes in your community, professional gay couples, organic farmers markets, tapas, you're experiencing the vanguard of the gentrification process. In no time, these pathfinders will be joined by palm trees, Thai restaurants, and massive headphones. If you want to stop this loss of diversity in our community and do your bit to help preserve the habitat of old drunks, the next time you walk into a bar and see a $15 beer from a third world country, walk straight out, pick up a slab of tinnies, have a punt on the dogs, and put $2 in a jug for a woman to take her top off. For all of us.